A running record is an assessment which provides an informal analysis of a child's reading ability. In a running record, the teacher listens to a child read from a book that is at the child's instructional level. That is, it is not too difficult and not too easy. The teacher records on paper the child's performance. As the child reads, the teacher makes a check mark for each word read correctly. The teacher uses other marks to indicate words that the child does not read correctly. Here, you will see Ms. Heidel demonstrate the steps in a running record.
Okay, how are you doing today, Danielle?
Good.
Fine. Today I'm going to have you read a story. And can you read the title of that story? Can you say it?
Henry and Mudge and the Careful Cousin.
Henry and Mudge and the Careful Cousin. Now, while you're reading, I'm going to be just writing some little notes on the piece of paper here. You've seen me writing on these cards when you're reading, haven't you? Well, today I'm not going to use the cards. I'm going to be writing on paper. So I just want you to read and just read the words as best you can. Remember how to think out words if you see one that you don't really know the sound of or the meaning of, and just read it, okay? So why don't you open your book to the first page and we'll begin. Okay, Danielle, would you begin reading the story, please?
Watching for Annie. One day, Henry and his big dog Mudge were standing on their front porch watching the road. They were watching for Henry's cousin. Her name is Annie. Henry told Mudge, and she's spending the night. Mudge screeched an ear. Oh, I've never met her, Henry said, but Mudge clawed a foot. I sure hope she's fun, Henry said. Mudge squeaked some bones.
Just a minute, let me turn the page. Good job. It's important to record errors in these running records because many times a child who's making errors will make similar errors repeatedly. And keeping a record of these errors and tracking them and marking them on a piece of paper and then going back and looking at them, you can find patterns. And then, again, assess what they're doing and then gear your lessons to zero in on what that child really needs to learn so that they can improve their reading.
While they waited for the cousin, Henry gave Mudge a brushing. Mudge loved brushing. He rolled onto his back. He hung his paws. The air he closed his eyes and made little dogs squeak. Mudge loved brushing, and they made him look very nice for company.
When she missed grunts on the third page and said screeched, that lends me to believe that she did not understand the word grunts, or she didn't understand that sentence, he closed his eyes and made little dog grunts. So then you start, if she's put in a word there, she said screeched for grunts, she's taken something completely out of context, which as a teacher is telling me she did not understand that part of the story, and maybe we need to go back and ask her, do you know what grunts mean? And then talk about, just learning that word meaning.
Suddenly a car pulled into Henry's driveway. Up, Mudge, said Henry. She's here. Mudge jumped up. He wagged his tail.
Ideally, you should try to do running records at the beginning and the end of the year. And it enables you to get a clear picture of where the child is performing. And then, of course, at the end of the year, you can assess how well they have, their reading has improved and how much growth they've made. If you have a child that's having some reading difficulties, it's ideal also to try to do more of these during the year and just make the time during your class day to to pull out those child, have them sit with you alone, and then conduct a little running record. And it doesn't have to be a long passage. It can be a short passage. But then you can check on the child's phonics, their comprehension, what type of errors they're making, and then assess their abilities, and then gear your lessons to what they need to learn.